Hey, beautiful people. So, if you are a parent of a teenager, if you are a parent specifically of a teenage boy between the ages of 13 to 17, then I need you to watch this video in its entirety. I am going to link some information in this video in the description. But if you have a teenager in your home that you care about, that you love, if you have a teenager in your life, niece, nephew, specifically, however, a male, you need to get this information and take action. I came across a video this week, really, at the time of this recording. It's in December, it's the second week of December, and came across a video this morning, and it just wrenched my heart because it is just devastating and absolutely sickening that there are people who are out in this world going after our young people with a vengeance. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I came across a video from Fox News. Now, whether you like Fox News or not is not the point. Hear what they had to share. There were several young people, specifically teenage boys, who have completed suicide because they were being exploited or blackmailed in regards to sextortion. Now, what is that? That is an individual or individuals who will reach out to someone, in this case, specifically young boys ages 13 to 17, and they will pretend to be a female, or some of them may actually be a female, and they engage in conversation. They talk with them over time. They build a relationship with them. They may even send them pictures of a young lady who they think they're talking to or think that they're probably building some kind of a bond with or relationship with. And of course, they ask for pictures as well, commonly known as sexting. And as soon as they have enough pictures, could be one, could be more, then they send messages over and over and over again and bombard them to let them know that they are going to use those pictures against them if they don't send them a certain amount of money. You heard me. We have individuals preying on young men, on our boys, for financial gain by blackmailing them, literally sending them messages over and over and over again to let them know that they are going to use this, what they have, use the information that they have against them. Some of them were athletes. Some of them are brilliant young minds. Some of them, from what I was reading, were involved in different activities in their schools, in their communities. One young man in particular that was highlighted in this particular show on Fox, or not show, but segment of Fox. He was an athlete on his way to going into great things and doing great things. Not only was he an athlete, he was a smart young man, brilliant young man, involved in his high school, involved with his family. And they sent him over 200 messages within, I believe, a 24-hour period, constantly saying what they were going to do with the pictures that he shared, unfortunately, thinking he was dealing with a young woman and engaging in some things that young people do. And not just young people, because it can happen to adults as well. Let's be real. But unfortunately, they're targeting our young men. And because of the pressure that they face and that they're experiencing, the shame, the guilt, not knowing really what to do, not knowing where to go, knowing who to talk to, many of them unfortunately succumb to taking their life. In addition to the fact that these evil individuals tell them things like, you should just kill yourself. You're not worth it. No one's going to believe you. We're going to use this against you. You're going to get kicked off the team. You're going to get humiliated at school. So not only are they bombarding them with messages that may seem like it's just out of nowhere, they have studied these individuals. They found them online or in games or other locations, and they study them depending on what has been put out there and also depending on what they have shared with them. So think about that. How sick, how cruel, how disgusting are these individuals preying on our young men, preying on our boys? And I'm not saying it's not happening to girls too. As a matter of fact, one report says it's probably underreported just how many of our young people are affected by this. But as of 2025, and just to read a few stats here, and this is now, by the way, being investigated by the FBI. This is now being investigated by top, agencies, because it is ridiculous, devastating, heart-wrenching, and just utterly cruel what is happening. And some of the individuals that are doing it are not in the United States. Some of the individuals that have succumbed to this, again, because the numbers we just don't know, are not just in the United States. It's happening all over the world. But I do live in the US, and this is the information that, again, came across my radar. And so, as a mental health professional, which, by the way, I'm Dr. Mel, I'm a licensed mental health professional. I am a transitional coach. I'm also a mom. She's not a teenager yet, but she's still involved in things, and sometimes online and different things, whether on my phone or on her tablet. And I'm also heavily involved with working with youth and young adults for over a decade. And this is part of why I am determined to break the stigma against mental health, or in mental health, I should say, especially mental health in our faith-based communities, because we don't talk about this. We don't have these conversations. We don't have a lot of conversations, if any, about how to be safe online, which will bring me to another point in a moment. But going back to the stats here, as of late 2025, at least 38 teenage boys in the United States have died by suicide. 38 have died by suicide because of this very issue that I've just shared with you. As a result of falling victim to sextortion scams since 2021. That's not that long ago, y'all. From 2021 to 2025, we've lost, at least how many they know of, 38 young boys, 38 young men are no longer here. Their future was ahead of them. Plans were in place. Going to college, getting ready for prom, getting ready to go into middle school. 38 are gone because they were sought after, sought out, hooked in, and then torn apart by individuals seeking money, demanding, not even seeking, demanding money from them. Now you tell me, first of all, and they may have their little stash, but what 13-year-old, typical 13-year-old, 15-year-old, 16 or 17-year-old is going to have thousands of dollars sitting around somewhere just to give away? What teenager is going to have $500 to just send to somebody randomly, especially without their parents knowing? So part of the report from the segment said that clearly it's not even about the money. And in some of the stories that were shared and with some of the parents that talked about this, you can tell it wasn't even about the money, the way how they were bombarding their child and ultimately telling them to kill themselves. Just take yourself out. You don't matter. How could you do this? You're so disgusting. I mean, it I'm trying not to. But ultimately, one of the other key issues that was mentioned is that we don't even know if that's the true number because there's so many things that are underreported. We don't really know how many lives have been affected by this. We really don't know how many lives have been lost because of this. We don't know how many parents this holiday season, family members, siblings, cousins, aunties, uncles, community members are in deep grief because of these sick individuals preying on our young people. We don't know. Another thing that was mentioned is that the FBI is aware of over 20 deaths by suicide resulting from financially motivated sextortion. Of those 38, 20 of them they are aware of. The victims are overwhelmingly teenage boys between the ages of 14 and 17, and the report had also mentioned a 13-year-old. And ultimately, in many cases, the teens died by suicide within 24 hours of being threatened. Within 24 hours. So within a 24-hour period, again, they're being bombarded with messages from people we don't even know where they're coming from. And later on in the report, it's mentioned that two extortioners that were arrested or being investigated, I hope they're under the jail at this point. They're not even in the US. They're in another country. And this is not against other countries. Originally, I am from Jamaica. I am not a native of America. However, I have done all the things that I was supposed to do. My family did what they were supposed to do and did it right. So we've been here for several years, and I am grateful for the opportunities that I've been afforded being here. However, the point of the matter is we have sick individuals across the world. Things are happening right now in Nigeria, and that is not being reported and is not being talked about. And we have thousands of individuals and lives that are being affected right now within their own country by their own people. We have so many things going on in the US that we can't even pick one issue. Pick one. You're going to come up with more. But at the end of the day, this is a mess. This is taking our boys out. And again, we don't even know how many young ladies may have been affected as well, because it's not being reported. So parents, this is my plea to you. Number one, if your teenager, boy or girl, has a cell phone, has a device, has access to the internet, has access to games, I'm not even going to get on some of the games. I'm going to have to do another video on that, because there are a couple games out there and apps out there that also have been shown to have predators specifically joining in certain communities just so that they can get access to your child. And mine too. That's why she's not on certain things and not going to be for a long time. But if your child, your teenager, especially your teenage boys, is on a device or has access to a device, I'm encouraging you, number one, check that thing every day if you have to. check those messages, check the social media. Most of it seems to be coming through some kind of social media connection. If they have a social media presence, talk to them about what that means. And that's another area too. I think it was in, I can't remember where in Europe, but there is a promotion that they have, or promo, well, yeah, promo that they have on television of just how much information is out there about our children. Some of the times because we put it out there. Not our fault, but it's good to know. A lot of the information that we put out there on social media, and we are proud of our children. We want the world to see our babies and how cute they are. And, they tied their shoe and they made it on the honor roll. And I mean, social media has opened up a world that many of us did not have the opportunity to promote and to show and to give all the accolades and do all these things, right? It just wasn't there. You took a picture, you had to wait till it developed, then you had to try to make copies and then send it to everybody. Now you take a picture, you go live, everybody can see what's going on with your children. However, the more information we put out there, the more information someone has access. Unfortunately, not everyone that views your information has it all together. I say that with a lot of love, but also with a lot of background in working with individuals that unfortunately are not well. I have worked with individuals that thought that they were the original individual from a movie, or that things, were listening to them and they couldn't talk about the millions of dollars that they have because the robots were going to come and take them and something was going to happen to. And I mean, I could tell you some stories. And they were just as serious in telling you these stories as I'm talking to you about this topic right now. So unfortunately, there are individuals out there that are not well. There are individuals out there that, in my humble opinion and belief, I am a Christian therapist. So these views are from, yes, my personal background, my professional background, and my spiritual belief. You don't have to agree with any of them, but this is me. Take it for what it is. But there are some out there that I believe are being used to bring destruction and bring devastation, which it has, for the purpose of just simply doing what they are being used to do. Read between the lines. You can figure that out, right? Okay. So, parents, grandparents, caregiver, foster parents, step parents, bonus parent, whatever kind of parent you are. You may be an uncle, an auntie, somebody taking care of someone that's not really your child, whatever. I don't care. If you have a teenager in your life and you are in charge of them and responsible for them, I'm encouraging you, please stay involved. First of all, get involved if you're not already involved, but stay involved in their life. Ask questions. Check those phones, check their social media, check the gaming messages. Keep all that on lock as much as you can. And if at all, any kind of inclination, any kind of signals, anything is coming up and you're just like, something doesn't seem right. Something doesn't feel right. It's probably not right. Ask questions. Take that phone, take that tablet, tell them, unlock all these, get these passwords, unlock it. And if there's a uproar about it, or I don't have any privacy, you don't. Point blank, period. There is no privacy. They don't have no privacy. Until they're an adult, paying their own bills, doing their own thing, living in their own house, there is no privacy, especially when it comes to their lives potentially being at stake. I'm not going to tell you what to do in your house. That's your house. However, I'm going to highly encourage you to get involved and stay involved. And if you're a believer, absolutely pray, 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 pray. Pray that God gives you insight, wisdom, but also reveal what's going on in your house. It's your house. And if anything is going on in your house that has no business being in your house, then it's got to go. So pray and ask God to reveal to you, show you, where is it? What is it? Who is it? Because we have a lot of our young people that are being bombarded by so many different things. They're getting information from so many different places. And let's keep in mind, bless many of them, but their brains are not developed yet. They're constantly moving and they're getting stimulated, and it's what makes them feel good. It's their interest today and then it's gone tomorrow. That's a whole nother soapbox to get on, but ultimately they don't know what they think they know. That's why you are there. That's why they have community. That's why they have teachers. That's why they have counselors. I'm also a school counselor. So sometimes I hear stuff that parents, you have no idea what's going on in your own house. None. And even if you are an involved parent, get deeper. Take that phone at the end of the day, at night, whatever, the tablet, the TV, that gaming system, whatever it is. We have to stay connected to our children now more than ever. Because if we're not connected, and if we don't stay connected and stay involved, then others can come in. Unfortunately, they're preying on them. Preying on them, seeking them out, literally, for their own financial gain. Or seeking them out to then meet up with them and take them for other things. We are in a crazy time. And there's some other stories I wish I could share, but this is also going to be on who knows where. And I'm not trying to be censored, at least not yet anyway. However, if you do your research, you'll be surprised of what you find. But I don't want you to be surprised in finding things out that's going on with your child, with your teenager. And if you do find that they're involved in some conversations that are not appropriate, or they're involved in something and they don't even know how to talk to you, or they feel ashamed, or they've been sending messages, which, by the way, if they don't know, when they send inappropriate messages, whoever you are, that can be seen as a legal issue. And if, depending on who they're sending it to or where it's going, that other parent finding it can press charges against them. So there needs to be conversations about what's appropriate when you do give them that cell phone. What's appropriate to post? What's appropriate to put online? How much information do you put online? I had one student that took a whole tour of his house, and his parents had some funds and had some very nice things, but was given a whole tour of the house and all that's in it. Guess what? When they found out, they had to change some stuff up, rearrange the house, because you done showed half the world and your friends what's in our house. They're not thinking. We have to do all that we can to keep our babies safe. So I do want to give you some resources to share. So number one, if your loved one, your child, Whoever's involved in your life, you recognize that there's some things going on and they need some help. They need some support. If they're having thoughts or self-harming behaviors, then you can reach out. You can reach out to 988. That is the National Suicide and Crisis Line. And that is also, I believe they're also in Canada. So if there's anyone in Canada that needs support, 988 is also available to you. You can also text home to 741 Yeah. Text home, the word home, HOME, to 741 That is another crisis line that you can reach out to, as well as the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They have a takedown tool for potential image removal and resources available on their website. So if you, or again, you come across this information for your child, your nephew, your niece, your whoever, you can go to missingkids.org. Again, that's missingkids.org. You can go to that website and it has information and resources of how to then get some of the images that may be out there or will potentially be out there floating around on social media or online, how to get that down, and also additional resources for this particular situation and others. Again, we have children who are still missing. We have young adults that are still MIA. We don't want this to be an ongoing issue. I don't want this to be an ongoing issue. And so I pray that you take this very seriously. Another number to call to report any activity to law enforcement in regards to sextortion is 1-800-CALL-FBI. 1-800-CALL-FBI, or visit TIPS, which is TIPS FBI.gov. Okay. Again, this is for reporting activities such as sextortion or anything along these lines. You can call 1-800-CALL-FBI. So 1-800-CALL-FBI, or visit tips.fbi.gov. I hope and I pray that you take this information seriously and you share it. Share it with anyone and everyone that has a teenager, especially our young men. Again, they're preying on our young men. They're seeking them out. They're looking for them. They're searching for them. They're studying them. All to then be able to bring corruption, devastation, and destruction. We cannot let another life go because of this. We cannot have another 38, 48, 50. I don't care what the number is. We can't have another number added to this already devastating loss of lives that we're aware of because of sextortion. We have to do better. As a community, as parents, teachers, pastors, whoever you are, you're involved with a young person, you know a young person, you know a teenage boy from between the ages of 13 to 17, then we have a responsibility to educate them, to love on them, to let them know no matter what they do, someone is there to talk with them. Someone is there to help them, that they are not alone. And it doesn't matter what they've done. Even if it's something that was wrong, yes, we need to correct. Yes, we need to put some things in place, but they need to know that they're loved. They need to know that they're cared for. They need to know that we will walk with them through the situation and circumstance, and that this is not the end of their story, but it will be a testimony. I pray that this information has been helpful. I pray that you will share this information Like, subscribe, do all the things. It's not even about that at this point. I'm concerned about our future and our young people's future. We have to do our utmost best to save them, our utmost best to reach out to them, our utmost best and then some in keeping them alive to see the fulfillment of what God has in store for them. The next video, we're going to talk about AI and some things that's going on with that too. There are a few other stories that's been coming out of others that unfortunately have also succumbed to suicide or are in situations that no teenager, no young person should be, no individual should be. But unfortunately, another bait, another device, another system is taking over, and it's not in a good way. But we'll talk about that next time. Praying for you. Pray that God shines and smiles on you. And remember to live to ignite, not to entertain. And we are here to break the stigma and shatter the silence of those who are suffering and living in silence. Stay blessed. Be blessed. See you next time.